How you doing? Today is Thursday, September the 25th, 2025. I'm just going to make a video here in regards to the type of deals that we're looking to do and how we structure them. This is for anyone who may be interested in partnering with us, someone who has private money looking to lend on real estate projects. We're just going to walk you through our process and show you how the funder or our partners would get paid back if they did want to do a deal with us. So I'm going to share my screen. We have kind of a spreadsheet that we work off of and we use to evaluate our deals. It'll give us a framework of how the deal will come together. It'll give us an idea if this deal will be successful or not and how we can make it successful. And again, how our funder can get paid, our funder or partner can get paid back. So if you see here, this is a sample deal. A lot of the deals that we find are in non-judicial states, states like Texas, Georgia, Florida, places like that. The reason why we try to stay in those areas because we are creating financing for buyers. So if there is an issue with the particular buyer on a property, we like the non-judicial states so we can take the property back sooner. We don't have to wait, year, 2 year, 3 years, 5 years. In some of the judicial states, it can take a long time to get a property back. But non-judicial states, you're probably looking at anywhere from 6 months to a year if you have to get the property back. So that's why we try to focus on those states. And a lot of times we do find a lot of deals in Texas that we can, that we're looking for funding for. And this one happens to be, as you'll see, the address here, Green Arbor Drive, Houston, Texas. And what we try to do when we structure our deals, when we buy them and then we want to sell them with seller financing, we want to sell them as close to what it is to rent in the particular area. And that's another reason why we kind of stay in the areas that we do, these non-judicial states. A lot of times you can find markets that are more affordable, where the rental price is very close to what it would be to own a property. So, for example, if it's $1,000 to rent a property, we feel like if we can probably stay somewhere between 1,000 to about $1,300 for that same person to own that property, we feel that we have a really strong chance to get someone who would rather own the home and pay that extra $300 or so a month than to rent. Obviously, if you're renting, your money is not, you're not building any equity, building any wealth. And we want to try and create home ownership for people as opposed to renting. Most people know that, we're becoming a nation of renters is what the big buzz phrase is around real estate right now. So that's why we're focusing on getting these properties and being able to offer them to the public with seller financing so we can make people homeowners. And so you'll see here, I'll just give you an example of what the photos on this particular property look like. So you'll see here, this is the exterior of the property, interior. So it's not, brand new, but, it is a property that is livable. And what we would do a lot of times is, with our partner, our funding partner, we try to borrow enough money to make sure that we can, clean up the property a little bit. We're not doing any type of extensive rehab. We're not, fully rehabbing a property, anything like that. We'll probably have somebody go in, a cleaning service, clean up the property, maybe do a little painting or something like that, and possibly do some staging of the property. But minimal cost to get the property, looking good. In this instance, we'd have someone come out and fix the fence. That may cost us $1,000, $1,500, something like that to fix the fence. Somebody to come out and just cut the grass. So very minimal things that we would do to get this property ready for a buyer. So let me go back to the spreadsheet here. So that'll give you an idea. Now, what we'd like to do is acquire this property here at 140,000. And then what we have is a repair estimate of roughly about $12,000. And so, we'd be in the property at a total cost basis of 152,000. And then we'd be looking to, once we, fix this property up, offer it to the public at $250,000 would be our sale price for the seller financing. The reason why we feel that's a good price is because if you look here, this ZHVI value, it'll give you an idea of what this particular zip code 77089 as a whole properties are selling for. So obviously we are actually under what this particular area is selling for. So this is, a good priced property. It should get a lot of eyeballs on it, especially because we are offering seller financing. We're not saying someone has to go out and get their own loan to purchase this house. We are creating that opportunity for that person. That adds to the buyer pool that will come in and look at this particular property. And even if someone was qualified, we could still get this person into the property under our terms. And then if they want to, in 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be, if they want to refinance, they could, do that at that particular time, but that would be up to them. So you'll see the rental value here. Based on a realtor that I have the information for, they said, somewhere between $1,900 to $2,000. So, offering this property to someone at $250,000, we'd be looking for a minimum of 20,000 down. Again, we are, trying to create homeowners. We're trying to put quality people in this particular, in the properties that we, do structure these for. This gives them more incentive to continue to make payments, to keep up the property. They're more invested as opposed to a renter. Obviously, a renter in this situation, might have to put down about 5,000, maybe even less than that to get into this as a rental. But again, we are creating a homeowner ship opportunity here, and so we'd be looking for a minimum of 20,000 on average with seller financing. If you look at the industry as a whole, you could get probably closer to $15,000. 15% down on a property. So we might even be able to get more than $20,000 down on this property, but the minimum we'd like to take on this to make the deal work is the $20,000. The annual property tax, actually, it was a little bit lower than this, but based on what's going on in real estate and taxes and things of that nature, we kind of estimated a little bit higher. The actual taxes on this are about 2,600. So, we just went up to 3,000. And again, this is a model of how we model it to see if the deal would work. Once we take down the property and find our buyer, we would then go back in and readjust these numbers. But if we know that it'll fit here, we can, only expect the upside once we present the property to the public. So down here, this is how we, kind of structure the deal and how the numbers break down. So you'll see here, 250,000, like I said, is what we're selling it for. If we get the 20,000 down, the first lien is going to be 175,000, and then there'll be a second lien of 55,000. So we are going to create two notes on this particular property, a first lien and a second lien. And we do that so when our funder who funds this particular deal at 152,000, we do that so that first lien can be sold to pay off our funder. We have relationships with investors as well as institutional investors that look to buy notes that are created. Usually, we can get this done within 12 months. We get the person in. get them seasoned, show that they have a good payment history, and we can get the note sold. So a lot of times with our partners or funders, we like them to expect to be in a deal anywhere from 2 to 3 years, maybe a maximum of 5 years. But we feel as though, based on this model, if we can get the person in, they make the payment, and we look to sell the property, we have those relationships. The buyers of this particular seller financing that were created, that they will buy it. And it looks like for $175,000 first, they would buy that at about 154,000. So again, that's going to pay off our underneath lien. Now, minus the expenses to get this note sold, because obviously selling a note, there's some expenses with that. This particular deal says that we are still going to owe our funder, who is in first position, $5,560. So, how do we do that? That's why we create our second lien of 55,000. And then what we will do is sell this at a certain amount to cover this 5560. If you look at this example here, we can get that sold at where is it at 40. If we can sell our second note at 42% of this 55,000, so 55,000 times 42% is 23,100. So that would get our funder paid. That, we would take the first 5560 of this 23,100 and make sure that our first lien position person gets that, in addition to what we're selling our first lien for, to get them paid off fully. And this is if our funder or partner who's coming to the table, this is based on 12.9% interest rate on that 152,000 with 2 points. Obviously, if we can get this lower, it works better for us. But we kind of, for modeling purposes, we use this 12.9%. So if somebody is looking for 12.9% on their money, within about 24 to 36 months, we'd like to talk to you. We'd like to, show you some of these particular opportunities that are out there, and how we can execute and get them done. So I just kind of wanted to, like I said, show you the model here. And then again, what we're doing and why it's beneficial to us is because we're keeping this second lien. And I know, like we said, we were going to sell some of the payments, but we're only selling a portion of the payments. That for that $23,000 that we sold it for, that only equals to about, probably about 5 years worth of payments or something like that. So we still have, 25 years worth of payments on the back end of this, that we're still owed, and we as the investor are still owed that particular money, even though we got a lump sum of that 23,100 right now. There's still some payments on the back end because we only sold partial of that particular note. Let me see if I can show you exactly what we are still owed after that. So give me 1 second here. So if we look here at an amortization schedule, that 55,000 at 10% interest, that's what we wrote it at. That would be the payment. And so if we sold, again, 23,000, I think it was $100. How many of those payments will we need to sell? Roughly 62 payments. So that's just about 5 years, just over 5 years. So, after 62 payments, if we go back to the original, so after 62 payments, there's still an unpaid balance that's still owed to us of 52,995 and 14 cents. So this is why, it's advantageous for us to sell some of those payments to get, again, our partner, our person that's in first position, to get them paid off. We collect just about what is it, about $15,000 or $16,000 up front. If I can pull this back up again, which I'm not able to for some reason. But it's not allowing me to pull it back up. But we have received the 23,100 minus the first 5,500 going to our first lien or our partner that's in first lien position. So that's roughly about $17,000 that we collected up front. And then we're still owed over $52,000 after the first 62 payments. So if this thing gets paid off at any particular moment, while the loan is still in effect, the person that purchased those payments, those first 62 payments, would be entitled to a certain portion of the total payoff, and then we would be entitled to our payoff for the balance, those 25 years that are remaining on that second lien that we didn't set. So that's why, we want to do these deals and why they make sense for us. So just wanted to, like I said, kind of run through that. Hopefully it made sense to everyone who watches this. If you have any questions, please let me know what the questions are, and maybe we can get on a call or something like that, and I can get them answered for you. But, essentially what we want to do is buy these things, cash, put, very minimal work into them just to bring them up, make them look nice, clean them up a little bit, offer them to the public with seller financing. So someone can be a homeowner, and then based on our structure, we'll get our our first position note sold off and get our funder paid back. Again, we usually, like to give ourselves anywhere from 2 to 3 years to get this done. A lot of times we can, get that paid off sooner. So, but if you have any questions, like I said, please reach out. My telephone number, 973-475-8488, or you can reach out to me via email at invest@abundantcapitalgroup.com. Thank you, and you have a good day.